Welcome to the mesmerizing world of coral reefs. My name is Silas, and this video will explain what exactly a coral reef is, what is threatening them, and the concept of assisted evolution. A coral reef is an extraordinary ecosystem, bustling with both living and non-living components. Found mostly in shallow coastal waters, these reefs are formed by coral polyps, which are tiny colonial animals. Despite their small size, coral polyps build massive structures using calcium carbonate, which provides the strength and stability of the reef. A key to their vibrant existence is their symbiotic relationship with algae, known as zooxanthellae. These algae live within the coral's tissues, providing them with food through photosynthesis, and in return, the coral offers a protected environment. This partnership not only accelerates the growth of coral reefs, but also gives them their stunning array of colors. Often referred to as the rainforests of the sea, coral reefs are home to an estimated 25% of all marine species. According to National Geographic, the sheer number of species is so vast that scientists are still discovering new ones. The biodiversity is not just fascinating, but crucial for the health of our oceans. Geologically, coral reefs play a crucial role in protecting coastlines from natural disasters by acting as buffers to reduce the impact of storms, floods, and erosion on coastal communities. Many of these communities also depend on the reefs for their livelihoods, whether it's through fishing or ecotourism. Coral reefs also hold secrets that could advance modern medicine and are being studied for potential breakthroughs in these medical fields. But these guardians of the sea are under severe threat. Climate change is a major culprit. As our planet warms, much of the heat is absorbed by our oceans. Warmer waters disrupt the delicate relationship between corals and zooxanthellae, leading to what's known as coral bleaching. Here's a video of what coral bleaching looks like in real time. The video being shown is a real time lapse of corals undergoing bleaching. Corals are extremely delicate creatures, requiring the perfect environmental conditions to stay healthy. If these conditions are threatened, they will expel the zooxanthellae that inhabit them. In this video, we can see the coral expelling its algae. The foggy particles around the coral after every contraction is the algae physically leaving the coral. Every contraction that it makes releases more algae. Although a bleached coral is not officially dead, if conditions don't improve and the coral doesn't take in the algae again, it will eventually die. Climate change also leads to ocean acidification, a process where increased carbon dioxide levels lower the pH of seawater. This acidity weakens the calcium carbonate skeletons of corals, making it difficult for them to survive and grow. Human activities further worsen the problems. Unsustainable fishing practices and excessive tourism can damage reefs, although their impact is less severe compared to large-scale effects of climate change. Let's take a quick break to review what we just learned. Pause the video after each question to think about your answer. 1. What is coral bleaching? 2. What percent of all marine life inhabit coral reefs? 3. Why are coral reefs important? Good job answering those questions. Let's move on to the next part of our topic.
Assisted evolution refers to a set of techniques designed to speed up natural evolutionary processes. These methods aim to enhance specific traits in organisms to help them survive in rapidly changing environments. Let's explore some of the techniques used to assist the evolution of coral reefs, particularly in the face of rising sea temperatures. Over the next few minutes, I will be explaining what forms of assisted evolution are being used to combat the effects of coral bleaching. These include stress conditioning, selective breeding, assisted gene flow, acclimatization through stress induction, and modifying corals and genetic alteration of corals. Technique 1. Stress conditioning. Scientists subject corals to gradually rising temperatures over multiple generations. This process encourages heat tolerance, helping corals adapt to warmer waters expected due to climate change. Technique 2. Selective breeding. In this process, researchers identify supercorals with resilient traits. They then breed them to produce offspring with enhanced survival capabilities. This selective breeding aims to create a new generation of corals better equipped to thrive in changing conditions.
In 2022, with funding from Resembid, CCMI and Dr. Bruno from the University of North Carolina collaborated to enhance coral reef restoration success in the face of climate change. Their goal? Understanding if different genes in Acropora corals affect their tolerance to warming waters and subsequent bleaching. The CCMI team also investigated whether the corals with increased thermal tolerance showed better growth and survival rates when transplanted back out onto the reef. For years, scientists have sought a supercoral with genetic resilience to threats like warming oceans. This research aimed to identify resilient coral genotypes, crucial for successful restoration in the face of future challenges like warming waters and coral diseases. Building on CCMI's pioneering coral restoration work since 2011, the project used corals from the coral nursery to study how specific genotypes tolerate higher ocean temperatures. Lab experiments conducted at our Little Cayman Research Center measured key traits under different thermal conditions. The 2023 bleaching event, whilst devastating, also provided real-world validation of our findings in wild-planted corals. Lab experiments revealed a genotype with the highest heat tolerance. However, some high-temperature tolerant genotypes showed lower growth rates and increased disease susceptibility. No single supercoral emerged. Instead, a mix of genotypes with different traits is crucial for overall resilience. So what does this mean for coral restoration in the future? To boost resilience, restoration practitioners should stock coral nurseries with a diverse genetic pool of coral colonies to survive the complex stressors in a changing ocean. Understanding genetic makeup is vital for future restoration success. As climate change impacts intensify, successful coral restoration becomes paramount. More climate-resilient projects offer hope for saving coral reefs by enhancing diversity, providing habitat, and aiding natural coral settlement. This buys time for these vulnerable ecosystems to adapt while global climate action and marine conservation efforts continue.
The next technique I'll go over is assisted gene flow. What this consists of is increasing the presence of beneficial genes naturally found in coral populations. Scientists facilitate the spread of advantageous traits across generations. This approach relies on existing genetic diversity to enhance resilience. Scientists are also attempting to use what is called acclimatization through stress induction. In this process, introducing controlled stresses to native corals prompts adaptations that can benefit future generations. This method accelerates acclimatization to environmental changes, potentially helping corals survive stressors like increased water temperatures. Technique 5. Modifying coral symbiotes. In this process, scientists are exploring symbiotic relationships between corals and algae. The way this works is they identify symbiotes, also known as corals, adapted to specific environments and conditions. They then introduce these beneficial organisms to corals struggling with changing habitats. This technique aims to enhance corals' resilience by optimizing their symbiotic partnerships with zooxanthellae. Technique 6. Genetic alteration of corals. In this advanced approach, researchers are genetically engineering symbiotic organisms to withstand environmental stresses. Modifying corals are then introduced into natural coral populations, potentially equipping them with enhanced resilience to climate change-induced challenges. Assisted evolution offers hope for the future of coral reefs by equipping them with the tools they need to adapt to our changing planet. Let's review assisted evolution with a quick game. True or false? The answer is true. Answer with true. The answer is false. Answer with false. The first question. One way that assisted evolution is used to aid coral reefs is selective breeding. True or false? The process of using selective breeding in regards to assisted evolution is done by introducing controlled stresses to native corals, prompts adaptations that can benefit future generations. True or false? Question 3. Is the end goal for assisted evolution to create a new generation of corals better equipped to thrive in changing conditions?
Thanks for watching, and we hope this video helped you learn a little bit more about coral reefs and assisted evolution.